carries a lot more weight than that for the rest of your life. Johnny Manziel, winner of the 78th Heisman Trophy.
Texas A&M quarterback Johnny Manziel has captivated the football world over the last 4 months, but his story really began right here in East Texas.
I could just tell. I knew early on. Of course, I didn't know how good, but I knew early on he was going to be a good athlete.
We knew if we could raise the man that the rest would take care of itself. We knew he was a blessed talent from a young age, and so we just worked really hard getting good values and a good foundation with him, and he's turned out to be great.
Manziel may have just written history by becoming the first freshman ever to win the Heisman Trophy, but Jonathan, as he was called growing up, made a name for himself in the Pop Warner League in Tyler, Texas, where he spent the first 14 years of his life.
Grandpa, it's all the times we used to play in the hallway and throw the ball until we couldn't anymore. I love you with all my heart, and you've inspired me to play football. And to Grandma, I'm so sorry for all the things that we broke in the house.
His grandparents, Lyanna and Jerry Loggins, own Loggins Restaurant, a Tyler, Texas staple since 1949. They were instrumental in Johnny's development.
Before he could even walk, I had a little ball, and I'd roll the ball to him, and he'd catch it and roll it back. And as he got older, he started developing his arm and started throwing it harder. The line would say, I want y'all to go outside and throw the ball. Well, it's dark. He couldn't go outside. So we'd let her go to bed, and we'd wait about 10 minutes for her to go to sleep. And then we'd start throwing again, and invariably we'd knock something off the wall. And he'd crash, and she'd come barreling in there, and he'd run, hide behind the couch. He thought he was going to get in trouble, and I'm sitting there laughing.
And the football star even had a flair for baseball.
When he was in Little League, he played at a park here in Tyler called Golden Park, and he kept hitting home runs into the house across the street. So the city of Tyler erected a real tall, real high fence in left field, kind of like you think of Fenway Park where the Green Monster is. It made him mad, and he started hitting them over the high fence, still into the people's house over next door. So he didn't let that fence bother him.
Johnny's father, Paul, moved the family to Kerrville before number 2 entered high school, and that's where the nickname Johnny and Johnny football all began.
In high school, when he was getting recruited at A&M, people started posting up on a few of the websites that, we're going to get Johnny football, and it just kind of grew from there. I think it's great. I think the nation's taking a hold to it, and they're running with it, and I love it.
Paul is the general manager at Fenton Honda in Longview and makes it back home every weekend to Bryan, Texas, to watch his son play. He was also right by his side for the long 10-day Heisman trip.
To meet Doug Flutie and Tony Dorsett and all the guys, and to watch Flutie play the drums, and to sit with Tony and some of the other guys and just talk and chat and be welcome into that family. You can't dream of it. I still pinch myself to see if it was real. We're blessed. That's all I can say.
Johnny even surprised his grandfather when they made the trip to the Big Apple.
Johnny had found a ticket, and he said, "Papa, I got you a surprise," and give me a badge to get in with. So I was elated, and I said, "Let's go. I got to get ready and put a suit on."
Touchdown, Texas A&M.
But no matter how many cameras are flashing or awards get put in the trophy cabinet, Johnny football will always be Jonathan Manziel to his closest family.
At the end of the game or the end of anything, the Heisman Trophy ceremony or whatever, he's still Johnny Manziel, and he's still our son. So, he still wants to go play golf with me. He still wants to go hang out with his sister and go to lunch, and just another normal person.
And he'll continue to make East Texas a proud community.
The Kerrville and Tyler thing, I guess they're just going to have to split because he's lived in both places and he's made an impact, in both towns. So.